Fair point. I mean, that's a fair
I
point.
thought it was a
I'll
cold.
give you that.
How is it attack on America if it was just a cold? Like, come on.
Well, it was just a cold.
Okay, well, that's really, really bad attack then. They must really suck at making viruses.
Well,
But yeah, for
I don't
the
know if it's so much, but really quick, I don't know if it's so much about the virus as it is what they did to as a result of said virus.
I
The
mean,
the
looking
ability
at
to do
state by state
lockdowns and
law, well, state by state law, Republican and Democrats both did lockdowns, and they were pretty reasonable. In Pennsylvania, they were just like,
reasonable. They
yeah, they were
kept
completely
people
reasonable.
away
Yeah,
from their families as they were dying.
yeah. In
They,
some
people are
places, okay, so you
they
can say some areas had bad policies, but in terms of the totality of lockdowns, they were very reasonable. Now, if you want to say about like New York with Cuomo and stuff like that, we could have conversations about that for sure. But like in terms of having lockdowns in
Whitmer.
general. You don't have to. You do not need to agree with how they were done, but you can agree that they were like legally viable and also necessary for the start of the pandemic when the medical
I
capacity was
did.
overblown.
Okay, and what
Or,
did
I mean,
they? What
overfull,
did they?
yeah, overfilled,
And
whatever.
what did they actually help with? Anything? And you're going to say slow the spread? Please don't. Please don't
Yeah,
go
yeah.
there.
Objectively, yes, our medical systems were becoming overwhelmed. In New York City, they had refrigerator trucks for bodies and
Oh,
other areas of the.
oh, come on, come on. Everyone knows that one's made up. The refrigerator, the
That's not made
landfills
up
of the
objectively.
dead.
No,
The
I know people who were
landfills of,
doctors in New York at the time. I know people who were
oh,
doctors
you
there.
people who
Multiple
were
doctors
doctors, were
died
they
by
dancing in
suicide.
hallways? Were they
No,
were
so
they
okay, just
twerking?
because you have the brain of a 8-year-old who's addicted to
Okay, you don't need to go
Adderall
to
on
that type
TikTok.
of,
No, no,
low
seriously though. Okay,
balling of
because
it,
right now
because I'm
you're talking
schooling
like
you.
someone who just learns off of social media. You're not schooling me.
No, I'm not
You're quoting
learning
your
off of
Facebook
social
feed.
media.
I'm
You're
talking
going low
about real
ball because
facts and
I'm
policy.
actually going over
No,
you
yeah,
and
you're
I can
actually going
actually
over
keep
me.
up,
Yeah, because
unlike other callers
you're
that I
talking
can actually keep
about your
going.
time.
Blah,
You're
blah,
talking
blah,
about
blah,
your
blah.
feed. Talking about your feed right now, where you saw the TikTok video of nurses dancing, taking a 10-second break from a period where they were suicidal. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So they
TikToks.
happen
Yeah,
to be
how dare they
viral.
have a lunch break? Holy crap, they have a lunch break. How
So,
dare they
so
dance off a freaking
virality,
terrible time?
they all of a sudden,
And
because the
by
disease.
the way, I don't think you should judge nurses for dancing when they were confronting it directly. When you think it's the biggest form of tyranny in the world that you couldn't go to McDonald's for a month, like the fact you think you're pampered as shit if you think that's the biggest issue in the world ever, and government
I'm
overreach.
not saying it's the biggest issue in the world
I'm just
ever.
saying
I'm
the fact you
saying
even
it's a
brought it up right now
ridiculous
in this conversation
standpoint.
is so
Well,
pussy.
no,
It's
I'm
so
bringing
pussy.
it
Who
up
gives a
because it was
shit?
kind of a
Like, come on, who
derivative of
cares?
the COVID thing, and then trying to talk about lockdowns, and then as a result of, is Joe Biden even an actual legitimate leader at some point because of who was filling out certain forms, who was in charge at certain points, what medications has he been on? Has he ever been in a position where he was in not control of his faculties? What happened with that, and who knew? Who helped facilitate that
I
lack?
also want to
That's
know
the
about the
fundamental
facilitation
question
of
that
Trump right now as well. His doctor has no medical license, and he says Trump is 6'3" and like 230, and Trump is definitely 5'10", which is a big lie. Like that's really like Trump
why
is
are you
definitely
switching the
5'10".
goalposts now? I mean,
I'm
I
not
know you're
switching the
trying to
goalposts.
draw.
We have
Well,
okay.
no, I know, but
We have
I'm trying to.
back-to-back presidents who are too old and not all there
So
mentally.
it's
Trump looks
because of
just as
this
bad as
and
Biden
that?
did. If you hear
No,
Trump talk,
that's
they literally
ridiculous.
they hand him executive orders. When they ask
Mm-hmm.
Trump about a policy question, he says, "Oh, I don't know. Yes, you got to ask my lawyers." Like Trump does not answer a question at all. He just talks about he does a
No,
stand-up
he answers
routine.
tons of questions. Did you see the bomb he dropped on South Africa today? That was hilarious.
Oh, the fake images of the memorial sites in
So
South
now you're
Africa.
saying, so the South African genocide is fake doctored
Oh
image.
yeah,
Are
it
they
is fake
AI?
according to the facts there. No, those are pictures of other things like memorial sites in South Africa. Every court, every single ruling, the actual people that came with the South
Mm-hmm.
African president, they all verified. They said there's no genocide in South Africa. Even if they think there's discriminatory laws, which would be hard to prove, there's definitely no genocide there. You use the word genocide more than
Okay.
leftists do. Like it's so pathetic what MAGA's turned into. You're the most pussy like woke bastards
Wow,
in the
wow,
world now.
going
It's
for
so
that low
sad.
bar again.
No, it really
Going
is so
for the
sad.
low
You cry
bar.
about
You
literally
don't have to
everything. It's
insult
so
people who
sad.
don't talk, or you hang up on them because
the
they're boring.
SJW
I'm
snowflakes. I
not
miss the
boring.
snowflakes. I'd rather talk about super pronouns than talk about this bullshit, bro. You're making up genocides now because you want to be mad about
I'm
like
making
white
it
people
what?
come to
So
America.
like what? So
Holy crap.
okay, who gets to declare what a genocide is?
Me.
Why do you get to declare it?
Probably the courts in South Africa. The idea that no other country
And
globally
this has
is
been
even
going on
talking
for
about
years,
this.
by the way.
The fact that a high percentage of the farmers that died were black farmers as well. So the idea that it's focused on white farmers is super stupid.
Why are they saying kill the boar?
You know that video that you saw on social media because you learned from social media, like I said before,
No, it's
8-year-old
not
who's
because
addicted to
I learned
Adderall.
on social
Yeah, you
media.
saw
I've
the
seen
one
it
video.
for
You saw the
years.
video of them chanting, right? You saw the video of them chanting in the arena, right?
That's one of them. Yeah.
Oh, I know the video because that's a radical alt-right party there that's not electorally viable at all. That's one party there that's extreme that has no chance of ever being in government because they're whack. They're wackos. The actual government there is
And
not
they
them.
have nothing to do. And
But you just saw black people chanting and assumed it was the South African government. It's so sad, bro. Do something more than just Google TikToks.
Wow, is this how you talk? Is this how you think you're going to get in?
Yeah, because you gotta grow up. You gotta catch up. You're gonna be on Medicare before you learn how to think. It's sad.
I actually already am, so that's fine.
Oh
Whatever.
no, we gotta take that shit away. Good thing we're gonna be cutting it. I hope you missed the cuts, man. I hope you keep it.
Oh no, because I'm not some foreign trash invader who's come in illegally.
Foreign trash invader.
Oh
yeah.
Foreign trash invader.
Foreign trash invader.
Isn't your show more interesting now when you have someone who can actually come back and talk to you instead of scutter over themselves and can
you are
actually
saying
push
things.
back?
You are saying things. Indeed,
I
you
am
are saying
lots
things.
of things and lots of true things and lots of good pondering
lots
questions
of fake
that people
things, yes.
probably
Pondering
have.
questions.
And your show's obviously more
Schizophrenia is not pondering questions. I hope you get help. Okay.
Oh wow, more projecting and gaslighting.
Yes, projecting and gaslighting. You literally sound like a TikTok kid. You are a TikTok MAGA Medicare freak.
Kid?
Yes, you do sound like a TikTok kid. You are using, you're using the same words that like a 12-year-old coming in that just learned about communism. You literally sound like a kid that just learned what communism is, and now you think you're purity. You're doing political purity tests. Like, come on, dude. Bring up some actual facts.
Purity test. I'm saying you're being a huge fucking.
There's a genocide in South Africa. Why did all the Afrikaner refugees look like they escaped from a golden corral?
Because they have nice clothes? Because they
no,
put something on? The only definition
it was the clothes.
Of a refugee is someone who's wearing rags and
but there's a genocide. There's a genocide happening. There's a genocide happening. Genocides are really big deals, by the way.
Let me ask you, leftist, is Gaza genocide?
I say it's a violent occupation, and Israel's current government is genocidal. I don't know if I classify it as a genocide yet legally, so I don't use the word.
Okay, but you're hedging that one. Why you're hedging that one? Why are you hedging that one? Why are you allowing that one to dance?
Because no courts or international bodies ruled on genocide yet, but they did rule that like Netanyahu was a war criminal, for example. So I'd go out.
Okay, and they ruled George Bush a war criminal too, and I honestly wish they'd go after Obama for killing that kid.
Go after Trump too. Go after Trump too, brother. Go after Trump, right? Trump's war criminal too.
I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that when there is a legit war crime and it's an American citizen targeted. I get that. But we have problems with that, and I'm willing to dance with you. But because you keep going to that little bar, man.
No, it's just like if you think there's a genocide in South Africa, you are just like so brain poisoned. You're internet poisoned.
You're saying you're not even sure. So why are you saying there's not one in this?
Okay, I know for a fact. No, I know for a fact there's not one in South Africa. The reason I said this about Gaza is because it's still teetering on the edges of it. It might be if Israel completes their plans of their full ethnic cleansing and they prevent anyone from leaving as well. So ethnic cleansing is a term we could probably use because they're planning on moving 1 million Palestinians out of Gaza. So that's a term we can use there. But for South Africa, there's literally, I mean, I know right wingers are paranoid, but this is insane.
It's not a paranoia thing. This is a story. Now, I understand you're limited, and we might be limited to our spheres, and that's fine. But you're telling me that in the left-wing sphere for the past, we're talking a few years ago, that they have been talking about this story. This isn't a story that just ignited overnight. There have been calls going back to Trump's first administration to help the South African farmers because of the actions being taken by the South African government, at least in the defense, at least in the acknowledgement, lack of looking the other way of what was happening to the farmers. Specifically being targeted.
Donald Trump gave $5 million to Ashli Babbitt too, so I don't really trust their track record.
Well, yeah, but she got murdered by a Capitol employee for what?
She was charging them.
Not charging.
Yes, she was. She jumped me through the window.
No,
she jumped me through the window. No, there is justification for murder. Okay, wait. Do you think George Floyd was murdered?
No.
Okay, how not? How is that not a murder? How is that a justified killing?
He had criminal amounts of fentanyl in his system.
Oh, but the medical
what do they call
examiners
it?
talked about
Speedball.
actual. Okay, do you know how fentanyl deaths happen though? Do you think it's screaming or do you think it's other ways that
I
you die
think
from
it was
fentanyl?
that what's his name, the cop who got wrongfully put in jail, and yes, I said that too. Wrongfully put in jail was the was at the scene secondary. He wasn't even dealing with Floyd initially when
Okay,
Floyd
so for
initially was
the
like screaming in
conversation
his
about
car.
George Floyd, okay, you could say he was having a panic attack for sure, but the
Yeah,
idea
he
of
couldn't.
Chauvin,
He was
I'm sure you
having
don't
a
know about this
panic
case.
attack in
You
the
learn from
car.
TikTok. You learn from TikTok. Okay,
Mm-mm.
so when it comes to
I'm
Chauvin
not.
and
I don't like TikTok.
his
My
knee
girlfriend can
his
attest
knee
to
on
that.
His knee on George Floyd's neck for 9 minutes. 5 of those minutes he was fully
Yeah, a
unconscious.
sanctioned police
Is completely
maneuver, and then we can
unconscious.
talk about if police maneuvers are legitimate, and that would be a
It's not a
legitimate
police maneuver. The
topic.
people that
It
trained
is a police
Chauvin came to the
maneuver. It
courtroom.
is
The
a
people that
proper
trained him
training thing.
came and said how it wasn't proper,
Do
especially
you
because he was
honestly
unconscious
think
for
that
5 minutes.
anyone was
Do you
going to
realize?
not
Do you
try
realize? Do
him
you realize
guilty
that
in the
if? Do you
political
realize that if
environment we
Chauvin?
currently
Do
find
you, do you
ourselves
realize
in?
that if? Do you realize if Chauvin did not stay on his neck for the 5 minutes he was unconscious, it would not have gone the way it was. But anyways, Babbitt
That's the
storming.
damn thing. How is he supposed to know? He's
Ashley
doing stuff.
Babbitt involved in storming the Capitol. Still was storming the Capitol. Was jumping through a
Peaceable
window.
assembly where the police let people around.
Through a window. Her jumping through
She
broken
never
windows. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay,
penetrated
how was the
that
window
window. She
broken? How
never
was the
went
window
through it. Why are
broken?
you talking over me? I can keep doing it too.
She was
Obviously, I can
going
keep
to.
doing it too.
She was.
She was
They were all
not
assaulting
through the
officers.
window, so
The
quit
people at that point
lying.
were
You're
assaulting
a
officers.
liar.
That's not
You're a
lying at all.
liar.
The
You're a
idea that you
liar.
think that George Floyd's killing was justified and Ashley Babbitt's was not
I
is
never
so
said
insane.
it was
Why do you?
justified.
Okay,
Quit
why
putting
are
words
there
in
no
my mouth.
settlements?
You like
Why are
putting
there?
things in people's mouths?
Why is there
Is
no
that what you
benefit
like
package?
doing?
Why is there no
Oh,
benefit
really?
package for the Capitol Police officers that day? Why did Ashley
What?
Babbitt get benefits, but the Capitol Police
What?
officers? I know you don't like our law enforcement, but I do.
No,
So
I don't
you know,
like law enforcement.
you
to
hate
be
law
honest.
enforcement.
Not really.
Yeah, I know you hate law enforcement. Yes,
So
I know. But
what?
for the police officers that day that were defending our democracy,
They weren't
she did
defending
charge them. Yep.
democracy. We don't live in a democracy.
Yeah,
We
you're a
live in
cop hater. Oh,
constitutional
you're a whiny.
republic
You're a
that's
whiny.
currently
That's a form of
failing. I'm not
democracy, you
lying. You're a
dumbass.
liar. Why are
You
you
have the
lying?
IQ
You
of
keep
a
talking.
toad.
Why do you talk?
You have the IQ of a
Why are
dumb
you talking?
toad. You have an IQ of a toad that's blind and deaf and never
Wow,
can't
keep
even read.
insulting me. I haven't insulted. I mean, I could go low. I mean, I could, but I'd be bored. I mean, I'm rather just school
I'd
you
be
on this
bored.
and
I'd
ask
rather
bored
just
myself.
lie and say things that are not true. And you actually, yeah,
No,
you do
I've
hate
said
cops
everything
anyway.
is true. I'm
I love
telling
our
you
law
what you're
enforcement.
wrong
Thank you for
about
keeping us
because
safe,
I'm
law enforcement.
entertained, and right
This
now
is
I'm
MAGA.
ignoring my girlfriend because of this, because it's kind of funny.
Well, I'm sure. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Okay, have a good night, man. I was gonna make a cuck joke. I'm not gonna do that. Who's this guy? Someone said, "Hey, man, can we have a debate over text?" Yes, that's my. Yes, that is the show. Let's have a debate over text. Thank you. Who's this guy? Okay, I'll call this guy back.
Hello?
Hi.
Yeah, I seen you on the video, Blow Joe.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on, bro? Truck driver here. Hopefully you can hear me okay.
It's a little rattly, but I could hear you.
Man, hey, I'm glad you get that other caller. Yeah, he was mad crazy. So yeah, get him out of there.
Yeah, he's kind of going off, huh? I mean, he was saying how he hated law enforcement too. I'm like, holy crap, this guy's going off.
Bro, you know, I'm a former Marine and everything like that. So not saying that I'm a Democrat or a Republican. And if I had to choose, I would say I would be a Republican. But not a Trump Republican. I'm talking about John McCain. Back when the Republican Party was a Republican Party, respected.
Yeah.
But you know, where we're at right now is it's just crazy. Like I said, I'm a constitutionalist. You know, I defended my country on the principles of the Constitution. So everything that I see what's going on right now that Trump is doing, you know, talking about moving the goalposts.
Well, I've never heard anyone, Democrat, Republican, anyone talk about suspending the Fifth Amendment. Like, suspending habeas corpus is insane. That's the right for all of us to see a judge before the government can just detain us and do whatever they want with us. And they want to suspend that? It's insane.
Bro, we haven't heard any of this. None of this, ever. So, I mean, the fact that it's coming from a con man, I'm sorry, not a con, well, he is a con man, but a convicted con man, someone who's been known to be a crooked person, and he's being praised for his actions, kind of, I feel like we're all wondering the same thing. What reality are we living in? Because we all feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we're not in a good place at all. I mean, the fact that he's doing all the cryptocurrency stuff, he's using the White House to get people there for private tours if they invest in his cryptocurrency, which means paying him directly. He's getting gifts from Qatar. He's buddying up with the Saudis again, and Qatar, and he just said he wants to make deals with Russia. After talking to Putin, he's going to abandon Ukraine and make deals with Russia to reintegrate Russia globally. But also, we need to move away from Europe and move away from Canada and move away from Mexico. But we got to move towards Hungary, Russia, and Mexico. I just never thought an American president would. And also he wants to do like price controls and the terror. He's like a communist. I don't even know. It's a weird reality right now.
My thing is, where has the spine gone in America? This was 10 years ago. There would have been hell to pay. No one would go for it. And the fact that it's okay now, like, come on now. We're abandoning our friends for our enemies. We're fucking selling out for a freaking plane. And I get it. You're going to have some people be like, oh, well, we took the Statue of Liberty. Yeah, which was a symbol. You know what I'm saying?
And Congress voted on that, too. Congress voted on that. Trump is violating the Constitution here as well, but they don't care because the voting does matter. Democracy does matter, and because the Republican Party was so easily overtaken. And I'll be honest with you, I do think Republicans fell first to this type of thing because they really do respond to the. I hate the word racism now because it's so broken, but like it really is just like treating illegal aliens or illegal immigrants or undocumented immigrants as animals is the big thing that gave Trump a lot of power. That's the only thing he's above water on polling wise. He's like -20 with the economy now, -30 with tariffs. Like, it's insane. It's only the brutal treatment of immigrants and foreigners, and the way that Trump talks about them. And I think Republicans have always been more along those lines.
Let's call it what it really is. I don't think it's racism, but what I do think it is discrimination. Is oh my gosh, what's the other word I'm thinking about? It's prejudice. You know what I'm saying? Those things are kind of deeply rooted, and like I said, we could get involved with that. Mexicans, foreigners, not just Mexicans, but foreigners, they are the backbone of this country. And now it's illegal. But now we want to accept South Africans like they're the endangered species of the world, of human species. Like, come on now. Like, again, what reality are we in?
Oh no, and Thomas Massey. I wish the Republicans were just all Thomas Massey because at least he's like principled. But Trump wants to get Thomas Massey ejected. Trump said he's going to fund a primary opponent for Massey. He wants Massey out of Congress next election. And Rand Paul, I'm pretty sure. So.
Yeah, let's get all the Republicans that have fucking backbone out of the Republican Party. Thank God John McCain isn't elected because you know what? That really would be Trump's true kryptonite.
I guess so, but I mean, the Republicans in America have, like, in totality, abandoned America. Like, the fact that they're talking about overturning the Constitution, taking away birthright citizenship, denaturalizing people. Like, one of the big things that when they always talk about, like, we need to denaturalize people. The 14th Amendment, these different amendments that give birthright citizenship, it's a dumb right. But when they talk about getting rid of birthright citizenship and they say we're going to take away citizenships and we're going to remove rights for people who are not citizens, it's a really scary trajectory. And like, I hate bringing up Nazi Germany all the time, but like Germany did find legal pathways to make Jewish people. They were not immigrants, obviously, because it was their home, but they made them illegal in their country, like illegal aliens, illegal immigrants. And that's how they were able to strip rights away from Jewish people there. So when I hear the Trump admin, they are fascists. Like the definition of fascism, trying to erode constitutional norms, eroding individual rights for all people, all human beings. And especially when he tries to denaturalize and take away citizenships, we're going down a really bad path. And usually people don't try to override the Constitution unless if they want to do really bad, especially right now. Like they say, we're being invaded. We're at wartime. Why are they sending 50 different ICE agents to go after one college girl writing an op-ed about Israel? If there's really such a big war in the streets, why are there no shootouts? And if there's terrorists in America, why can so many ICE agents go after people for the freedom of speech? It just makes no sense.
You know what? And I hate to say this because, when people try to blame color and stuff like that, I'm like, listen, let's talk about gender and gender and freaking whatever before we get to racism, right? But how things are going, it's like I have to ask, white America, what are you guys mad about? This is what our forefathers have seen. This is what our forefathers have wanted. They wanted to change with no regression, all progression. And, I hate to bring up Mexico. The only reason I'm going to bring up Mexico is because I think Mexico, despite their problems, they're more progressive than we are. And when I say more progressive, because we have our neighbors down south who elected the first female president. We should have been on that trajectory. We are a far more developed country where we could have elected our first American president who was a female. You know what I'm saying? Again, what are we scared of? Why are we holding ourselves back? And this is coming from a true American. Forget political party and stuff like that. I'm an American. Why are we holding ourselves back? Why are we stopping from being so progressive?
It is a race thing too, man, because like the big thing in America right now, so here's the 3 different demographic elements that matter. So number 1 is man, another one's white, another one's evangelical. Evangelical white men voted for Trump like 99%. And they have a view that America should be a Christian nation, Christian nationalism, and they will stop at nothing until they can make that an authoritarian reality. And that's what they truly believe. And a lot of it is anxiety for white men not being the dominant power anymore in the country. That's why the Great Replacement theory works so much. Like, oh, we're going to be the minority eventually as white men. There's a lot of anxiety there, and you just cannot disconnect race from any of this. And there's a reason Trump says everything's wokeism and everything's DEI. Like, Trump just calls black people woke. He just uses that for the N-word all the time. And I know not everyone sees this. But he said like Obama's library is taking too long to build in Chicago. It's because Chicago hires all those woke people to build it, and the woke people can't work hard. It's just, and he's like, oh, I could tell if they're criminals just by looking at them. And when Trump says like, oh, if Kamala wins, then you're gonna have all these immigrants invading your perfect white suburbs. They're gonna be killing and raping your daughters. And he only shares pictures of the most scary looking brown refugee immigrants ever with knives and tattoos and whatever and guns and. He sells this vision of anger and dystopia and violence and chaos because he needs it to survive. And Americans are believing it in one of the most pampered times in American history. We live in great times. We live in the peak of human history right now. But people have nothing to do but complain and cry about everything. And Trump is seizing on that. And isolation, social isolation, it's like a big mental health crisis in America. I'd almost blame 99% of it on mental health, to be honest. I don't know about you, and you can disagree with that. I appreciate the call. I want to give you the final word. I appreciate your call, though, man.
Yeah, man, thanks.
But yeah, do you want to say anything else to wrap up?
Well, you know what? If I say anything, it's going to be kind of on the fringe. I don't know if you guys do fringe topic. But, we're talking about all this political stuff. When are we going to talk about the biggest issue that's going on right now? What is going on with UFOs and other life and life that's out there that's possibly here? Congress is taking it as a big, serious deal. Why are we not, as Americans, truly listening to what's really going on? Because, again, I feel like that's the biggest issue that, this administration doesn't want us to focus on, like any other administration.
Or Jeffrey Epstein, right? They're hiding all the Jeffrey Epstein files because Trump's in them. Hey, no, but you're good though. Katy Perry, we got Katy Perry up there checking out the aliens for you. We're good.
Hey, bro, I'll call again, man. I like your show, man. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Have a good night, man.
Yep.
I'm tired tonight, guys. How are you guys doing? Let's take a little break. If there's someone waiting in Discord to talk. I don't know. Is that a pun you're going to tell me right now? No taxes on tips is such a dumb policy, bro. It's such a dumb policy. It's a tax deduction, $25,000. It's such a dumb... Hey... I hate you. Dude, someone just said... What do you need in order to put a What do you need in order to put a wild dolphin in captivity? And then he said, habeas corpus. $25,000 is dumb? Yes. For no taxes on tips? Yes, it is dumb. It is very stupid. there's no reason why a McDonald's employee getting paid $15 an hour should not get a tax cut, but someone working at a bar who does not even report their tips would get a tax cut, making the same amount of money. Like, why would someone at McDonald's, why not just give a tax cut to all working class people? You know why? Because it's a big old virtue signal. It's a political policy that only lasts 4 years. So the tax cuts for the ultra wealthy, that lasts 10 years. The taxes on tips last until the next election because it's purely for politics. Give the wealthy what they want, use that for politics. Why not give a tax cut to all working people? It's just dumb. Terrible policy. Some places make you report your tips. Yeah, I know. Does it cover, opens the door for fraud? Yeah, and the IRS is not going to be able to process it. But like, if I DoorDash, can I report my YouTube donations as tips? Like, I doubt it. Or DoorDash, like, I better be able to. I'll take this guy's calling. Wait 1 second. Here, are you trying to call in?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, are you trying to call in then?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
All right, cool. If you're good to wait like if you're good to wait like 3 minutes, I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick and restart my stream so that I can talk to you.
Yeah. You wait. Do you still want me to stay in the Discord?
Yeah. Stay in Discord. I'll drag you in like 5 minutes.
All right, sounds good. Bye.
Let's see. I want to redo my YouTube stream. I need a better title for that. I'll do a horizontal too. So my plan for the rest of the night, guys, it's 11:17. I'll probably open up a YouTube Shorts and also a horizontal for all the horizontal hoes out there. If you're a horizontal hoe, put your hand up. I'll open up a YouTube Shorts and horizontal because after this caller, I'm gonna do a lot of really lazy, dumb reaction content. So just so you guys know, after this call, I'm gonna do some lazy reaction content because I'm tired. Okay, for the YouTube YouTube video. Is he still taking calls? I don't know. Maybe. Yes. F horizontal stream. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, I'm ending both of these streams. All right, I will be putting them back up in a minute. I'm getting some watermelon. But yeah, ending both of these streams. Refresh my channel. I'll be back up in a second. See you guys in a second. See you guys soon. Come back. Please come back. Baby, come back. You can blame it all on me. Baby, come back. All right. See you in a second. Refresh. How do you call? There's a phone number. Okay. I'm making new graphics for my channel too. For my stream. I need it to be cleaner. Watch my video today about Bernie being racist too. All right, guys. I'll be right back. I call and you come back. I have someone queued up already, but